Thanks to Roborock for sponsoring a portion of this video. So like at first glance, Amazon and Apple might not seem like direct competitors. They're both in the tech space, but like one's an online marketplace where you buy everything, the other is like a product-focused company. But the more you dig into it, and the more I've dug into it, because I don't know, that's just how I'm wired weird. Amazon and Apple have their tentacles intertwined in many different areas, and they compete in a lot more areas than I ever thought. Even more interestingly, in a lot of ways, Amazon is beating the snot out of Apple where it matters most. Let me explain. So I think it's pretty easy to think the only product Amazon makes are like Echo devices with obviously the A word built in. But the past few years, Amazon has gone from like dipping its toe to just full on jumping in to a lot of categories that Apple is currently the king of. If you remember, Amazon's first hardware product was actually the Kindle, and it's still the most popular e-reader in the world, and it's single-handedly defined that category. You could buy a book from Amazon and read it on the Kindle. It worked. Now, obviously, Apple's tried to take a crack at this with the iPad, and there are obviously hundreds of thousands of people that use the iPad for reading, but the experience of actually reading is just, I don't think it's the same. And it's safe to say that I think Amazon figured out the best way to read digitally. And that being said, Amazon has not done everything right. You might remember this guy. It's the Fire Phone. I won't blame you if it doesn't ring any bells, but this is the first and last phone that Amazon ever made. I wish I could have shared like the hype that was around this thing back in 2014. This was going to be the most revolutionary phone that we had ever seen. It was going to be 3D. It was going to be running Android. It was going to be integrated with Amazon. It was going to be an absolute beast. And we saw the concept in 2014, like I said, and it was awesome. So obviously it ran Android, but much like the Fire tablets, it was a completely skinned version that Amazon controlled. It looked like a normal phone, but there were 4 cameras on the front that were there to sort of track your face and create a dynamic 3D effect inside the interface. So think Nintendo 3DS, but like slightly better. It's really hard to show on camera, but it did work. You could almost see into your phone rather than a flat screen. And in all fairness, it was cool, but it was not even close to the performance of other phones out there, including the iPhone. And at least for me, I got a headache after like 3 minutes of looking at it. Just overall, the whole phone was a disaster of a mess. Amazon, understandably, never said how many Fire phones they sold, but the rumor is it was tens of thousands, which for a company Amazon size, not good. A year later in 2015, it got just the big axe. And this was kind of the norm back in the day for Amazon. They had a few hits, but they couldn't find that next product that would elevate Amazon to a tech product leader. But that's where the Amazon Echo comes in. So the first Amazon Echo was released back in 2014, actually around the time of the Fire Phone. But unlike the Fire Phone, the Echo is actually good. Now I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but when this came out, I laughed at it. I was like, who's going to need a smart speaker? What is a smart speaker? Well, I have to talk to my speaker. It sounded ridiculous now. I now have like 14 smart speakers scattered throughout my house. But this was sort of a smart speaker for your home. It was the first time we'd seen this with the new Alexa AI assistant built in. It could do stuff that you'd expect. It could answer questions, play back music, control smart devices, all the things you'd expect from smart speakers today. But it was the first attempt from Amazon. It was actually shockingly good. And Amazon now seems even more focused and has a clear path, sort of what products work and don't work. They've got a giant winning strategy, and it's all in the house. And I'm getting to the Apple stuff here, I promise. And this is a place where you can clearly see Amazon's advantage over Apple. So of course, I mean, Apple technically has an assistant with Siri, which released back on the iPhone 4S in 2011. But I think it's like a fair to say it's stagnated over the past few years. There's never been leaps and bounds of improvements with Siri, at least from a user perspective. Alexa has expanded and grown. You can now get Alexa on dozens of products, dozens of uses. In fact, I have Alexa in my car. Apple, on the other hand, they got the HomePod. This ideally would have been a great sounding speaker, but since it's using Siri, the knowledge base isn't quite as good as what Amazon has to offer, and it's very noticeable when sort of talking with the speaker. And because of this, Amazon's able to expand its Echo line into a ton of different categories. They make earbuds, thermostats, wall clocks, the list goes on and on, but that all stems from the original Echo being really good. That hit product is a big reason why Amazon is so popular today. Even more importantly, it gave Amazon a face, or kind of a voice. They were able to give users like an interaction point to one of their most important products, Amazon Prime. And that is a ginormous reason why buying products on Amazon became the default for a ton of customers. Fast shipping, reliability meant you knew when your product would arrive and you're confident it'll actually, happen. All that led to Amazon Prime and gave rise to sort of the Prime infrastructure that they have now, kind of culminating in Prime Day, which is July 12th to 13th. It actually started, I don't know if you knew this, but in 2015, it was marking the 20-year anniversary of Amazon Prime, and they just kind of made it a pseudo holiday. But now where other retail outlets like Best Buy take part. And there's a bunch of awesome deals to be had this year for Prime Day. So obviously the biggest appealing thing about Prime Day is them sweet discounts. This video sponsor Roborock has some amazing deals going on. These are vacuums that are running around my house, running around our studio. I've actually done whole videos on them. But the big daddy, the king, is the S7 Max V. All right, so this guy's got everything that you'd expect from a vacuum. This is the vacuum that other competitors have tried to mimic for years. So you're gonna get AI obstacle avoidance. You're gonna get 5,100 pascals of extreme suction. You've got a full mopping system built in, incredible obstacle avoidance. If you've got pets in your house, you've got dust in your house, you wanna keep things clean and keep your hands off of it, this will do absolutely everything for you. Set it in your phone, it'll clean itself and come back to the dock when it's done. It's also got an auto empty dock, so it'll go and empty itself when you're done. Full mopping functions built in. It even has a webcam built in, so when you're not home, you can monitor your house via your vacuum. The thing has LiDAR built in, a really robust app, so directly from your phone, you can tell it where to clean, what room to clean, and it's got the smarts to know exactly where to go. If you've been waiting to get a new vacuum, now is definitely the time. For Prime Day, it's actually 10% off. We'll put a link to it down below. If you want to save just a little bit of money but still get an awesome vacuum, Roborock's got you covered with their S7 and S7 Plus. The Plus just means you're going to get the auto emptying dock. With the S7, you are getting sonic mopping technology with a really nice intelligent mopping function built in. You've got ultrasonic carpet recognition, all new rubber brush, precision mapping, restricted areas, even voice control built in. This thing will know exactly where to go using the LiDAR sensors built in and control it via the app. It will clean, it'll do an amazing job, and if you want to get the Plus, it'll even empty itself when you are done. So if you want to pick up the S7, it's on sale for Prime Day for 34% off. It's huge savings. And if you want the S7 Plus, huge savings there as well with 25% off. Awesome time, save some money. So no matter which way you go, you'll get a really good value and an awesome cleaning robot. But if you're confused about the differences, here's sort of the basic overview. So the S7 is only compatible with the auto empty dock, meaning it'll go back and empty itself. It's awesome and it works. S7 Max V is compatible with the empty wash fill dock, which can actually clean the mop heads for you and obviously empty the dustbin there as well. The S7 Max V is also going to give you about twice of the suction power as the S7. And when it comes to obstacle avoidance, the S7 Max V has what Roborock is calling reactive AI 2.0 function. It can recognize 27 different genres of objects and mark them in the app. The S7 and S7 Plus have really awesome obstacle avoidance as well, just a little less on the AI side. So Roborock obviously has some awesome deals going on, but there are some incredible other deals happening on Prime Day. So LG's C1 series from last year, the OLED TVs, nuts sale right now. Amazon's own Echo Dot is 60% off for just about 20 bucks. There's a ton of amazing tech to be had on Prime Day. Anything you were looking to buy, just go ahead and give it a search and chances are you'll find it on sale. If none of those deals are interesting to you, we'll also put some of our favorites down below as well. And you can even update them as new deals start to pop up. So while Amazon has certainly had their fair share of failures, there is no doubt that when it comes to commerce, especially in the home, Amazon is just straight up king. We're hearing some rumors that Apple is working, at least again, I'll try to close that gap. So there are two different rumors at play here. One is that in the next few months, Apple will release a new big HomePod. Think of this as a replacement for the OG HomePod, not the Mini. This new HomePod will supposedly focus on sound quality. Listen, all the HomePods sound good. I'm not expecting a huge update to the design, We should see support for lossless audio and Dolby Atmos that sort of let you use a speaker for sort of true surround sound, especially when connected to TVs. And obviously, other rumors that they might have a screen or not, or cameras built in. Big deal allegedly will be price. Original HomePod debuted at a way too expensive $350. That was a ton, especially in a world of $30 Amazon Echoes. Hopefully this time the price should drop. I'd expect something around the $250 range. But the biggest, most exciting rumor is for next generation HomePod that is packing much more than that. And according to pretty reliable Mark Gurman, Apple is working on a HomePod Apple TV combo device made for living room. So apparently, this would have all the smarts of the HomePod that we're used to, also have Apple TV hardware built in, and a FaceTime camera. So theoretically, from the comfort of your couch, you could have all the Apple stuff. A great speaker, an Apple TV, and FaceTime setup. This would be something really unique that Apple could theoretically do really well. I'm still not sure how comfortable I am having cameras all over my house, but Apple has been pretty good at privacy in the past. If this would be enough to beat Amazon, I don't know. Amazon has way too much of a lead, too much of a price advantage for really much to change. And the fact that in 2022, Apple is still trying to figure out how to make a smart speaker shows that Amazon has probably very little to worry about. And look, Apple is obviously doing fine when it comes to revenue and products. Just look at their earnings, but the home category shows that Apple is not always the best option in the market, and Amazon is clearly taking advantage of that. So when you compare Apple's and I guess Amazon's, this whole video was born out of a desire to talk about the services and where Amazon has been so successful as a service company and where Apple has been so successful as a hardware company. And sometimes they overlap and they can clash and they can meet. The two have mostly been friendly. There's been sort of some disagreements between the two, but as they grow and as their products and services expand, we're gonna see a lot more competition between Apple and Amazon. And whenever two tech behemoths compete, generally, consumers end up winning.